Hello everybody, in this video we are going to talk about Global Talent Stream. So many people have requested me to make a detailed video on GTS, so here's the video you wanted. Of course, Global Talent Stream is so famous because it provides you the Canadian work visa with a processing time of just 2 weeks. You don't need to appear for IELTS and also don't need any LMIA to be eligible for this stream. So in this video, we'll talk about the details of the Global Talent Stream. We'll talk about all the benefits. We're also going to talk about the eligibility for the 2 categories that are there for this GTS stream, and of course the cost. The good news is that you don't have to bear the cost, and we will talk all about that in detail in the last segment of this video. But before we start discussing about all these points, let me take a moment to thank Unacademy for sponsoring this video. But more on that later. Okay, so let's start with the overview and the benefits of this stream. The Global Talent Stream is a part of Canada's temporary foreign worker program, and it helps companies grow by ensuring that they can access the highly skilled talent from across the world that they need quickly. So most of the times when employers need a highly skilled worker, they don't have too much time. They would want to onboard the employee as early as possible, and of course because they have to get it from some other country, a lot of time actually gets wasted during the immigration process. So GTS actually addresses that challenge, because if the application actually goes through the Global Talent Stream, then there is only a processing time of 2 weeks. So within 10 business days you can expect that there would be a decision on that application. So of course that definitely helps the employers to hire foreign talent very quickly. And the process of GTS is not at all complicated. As I told you earlier, there's no IELTS and of course there's no LMIA required as well. Getting an LMIA letter is actually difficult for many companies because it's a long process and it has its own requirements. So when they don't have to go through that process, it becomes easier for employers as well to go through the immigration process for that resource. Apart from that, there's no proof of funds required, there's no point system. Of course, this stream is not for the permanent residency, it is for the temporary foreign worker. So of course, those two are not required as well. So because of all these benefits, Global Talent Stream is very popular among employers. Okay guys, before we move further and talk about the different GTS categories, I want to thank Unacademy for sponsoring this video. Unacademy is launching a new course which is specifically for GMAT. Unacademy is not a new name, probably the most trusted and India's largest learning platform. Now they're launching the GMAT course. So if you have aspirations to study in the world's best business schools, most probably you would need to go through GMAT. And of course, one of those schools is ISB, Indian School of Business. We'll talk about that, but this is the new YouTube channel that Unacademy has launched just for GMAT, and I would encourage you to go and subscribe to this channel for a lot of informative content. Also, recently they had this live webinar about achieving your ISB dream. So I'll provide the link to this live webinar in the description box below. Through this webinar, you can discover the strategies and tips you need to get accepted into Indian School of Business. It's a very interesting webinar. If you have aspirations to get into ISB, now is the time to turn your aspirations into plans, and this webinar is going to bring a lot of clarity for that purpose. Let's talk about the different categories of the Global Talent Stream. So there are 2 categories, Category A and Category B. So what are these categories? Let's first try to understand Category A and then we will talk about the Category B. Actually, Category B is more famous and more interesting, but let's just quickly talk about the Category A and then we will talk about the second category as well. So high growth companies that can demonstrate a need to recruit unique specialized talent from abroad can actually go for Category A, and all those employers must be referred to the GTS by a designated referral partner. Now, what is a designated referral partner? This is a complete list that is available online. We'll go through that. But before that, let's try to understand what do they actually mean by high growth companies and what do they mean by unique and specialized talent. So the employer must be operating in Canada, must have a focus on innovation, must have the willingness and the capability to grow or scaling up. Now please note, they are talking about a unique and specialized position. So Category A is not for everyone. Let's say if you're a software tester, which is very generic occupation nowadays, so in that case you might not be eligible for this category. Now, what is the definition of unique and specialized talent? So of course, if you're talking about such a talented person, then their salaries should be good. So the annual base salary should be 80,000 Canadian dollars or more. Those people should have advanced degree in an area of specialization of interest to the employer and minimum 5 years of experience in the field of specialized experience. So in order to be eligible, not just you should have studied in that particular domain, but also you should have some relevant work experience of 5 years or more to be eligible. Okay, so this is the list of organizations which they call as designated referral partners, and this is a big list of organizations. Mind it, this is not a list of organizations where you are seeking employment. This is not a list of employers, but rather where your employers would go for the referral. So you as candidate does not need to know too much about it, but still, just for awareness purpose, you can see there are a lot of organizations which are pan-Canadian, which means throughout Canada, and then again a lot of them are for different provinces. So for example, in Brampton you have Invest Brampton, then Hamilton, Invest in Hamilton, City of Mississauga. All of both of these are for the Peel region in Ontario, and of course then there are many others for each province here in Canada. Now, why I said that category B is more famous, because for category A there's very less number of positions that might be there for any company. As mentioned in the Canada.ca website, they say that there might be 1 or 2 positions per year in a company, but when they specifically say that 1 or 2 positions, so you understand the uniqueness and specialization they're talking about. But this was category A, which was a lot tougher. So not most of you would be eligible for category A, but yes, category B is most interesting. Okay, now let's talk about the second category, which is category B. This category is different because in this category, employers can hire highly skilled foreign workers from a list of occupations that has been defined. So this list is a big list of around 17 occupations. Earlier, the list had only 12 occupations, now it has 17. And the new ones that have been added are civil engineers, electrical and electronics engineers, mining engineers, aerospace engineers, and computer engineers, except the software engineers and designers. You can think of this list as the in-demand occupations for which there is insufficient domestic labor supply. Also, for category B, just like category A, there's no LMIA required or no IELTS is required either, which makes the category B more famous as compared to the category A. Okay, now let's quickly see list of 17 occupations that we were talking about. Okay, this is the list of occupations for category B for GTS. This list was updated, as I told you, in December 2022. So right at the top, you'll find the 5 new occupations that have been added that we just discussed some time back. And then of course, we have the list of occupations that were there before this add-on was made. So mathematicians and statisticians, information system analysts and consultants. So mind it, for each of these, they have actually mentioned the knock codes very clearly here. So maybe you're web designers. So if your knock code is 21233, then you would fall under this occupation. Similarly, a lot of these, as you see, are for software engineers, many different occupations within software engineering. All those people who are in the IT sector, they would definitely understand all these different knock codes. If you're interested, I'll provide a link to this webpage in the description box below. You can definitely check it out. Okay, now let's talk about the cost. The processing fee is around 1,000 Canadian dollars. Now the good news is that you don't have to pay this processing fee. It is eventually the employers who have to pay it. And it is very clearly mentioned that the processing fee cannot be paid nor be recovered from the temporary foreign workers. Employers must not recover the cost for the services of a paid representative as well from the temporary foreign workers. So basically nobody can actually ask you for the payment for any processing fee. And also most probably if your application is going through a third-party representative like a consultancy or an immigration lawyer, then even their fees should be paid by the employers. Okay guys, so that's it for this video. I really hope that this video would help you understand the process, the details, the benefits, everything that you need to know about the GTS, the Global Talent Stream. Thanks a lot for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please click the subscribe button. If you have any comments, any queries, please put it down in the comment section below.